Karishma, what are you doing?
Don't stop me. I'm already stressed out.
क्या हो गया?
I'm not able to handle my life. Everything is messed up. I think this is the only way out for me right now.
No, Karishma, you need to calm down. This is not the solution.
Really? Then what is the solution?
Come with me. I'll show you. We have a group of 6 intelligent individuals who will talk about mental health and drug abuse. Presenting to you all, Team URJAA.
तीन, दो, एक। आज हम कुछ भी कहें उससे पहले आप लोग जरा इसे देखिए।
यस कम ऑन हट यार, मैं हार कैसे गया? हट यार।
ये लो बेटा, खाना खा लो।
अरे मम्मी, नहीं खाना, मुझे खाना यार। आप हर दिन आ जाती हो वो सेम बोरिंग खाना लेकर। कुछ अच्छा खाना है, मुझे रेस्टोरेंट में जाना है, दोस्तों से मिलना है। ये थक गया इन सब से मैं। अब जाओ यहाँ से आप।
हाय राम, क्या हुआ तुम्हें बेटा? शांत हो जाओ, शांत हो जाओ।
मम्मी ये क्या हो रहा है? पता नहीं, बहुत अजीब सा लग रहा है। सर भी बहुत फट रहा है मम्मी।
घबराओ मत बेटा, चलो डॉक्टर के पास चलते हैं।
जी भाई साहब, मेरा मतलब बहन जी, बैठिए ना।
ओ डॉक्टर, वो माँ है मेरी, भाई साहब नहीं।
बड़े बदतमीज डॉक्टर हो तुम तो। खैर, मैं अपने बेटे को दिखवाने आई हूँ।
बेटा मुझे बताओ कि समस्या कहाँ है?
डॉक्टर जी, मेरे सर में आजकल बहुत दर्द होता है और बेचैनी सी होती है, अजीब अजीब से ख्याल आते हैं। समझ में नहीं आ रहा क्या करूँ। आप बताइए ना, क्या हुआ है मुझे?
क्या हुआ है मेरे बेटे को?
He's having any of a broad range of medical conditions such as major depression, schizophrenia, obsessive compulsive disorder, or panic disorder that are marked primarily by sufficient disorganization of personality, mind, and emotion to impair normal psychological functioning and cause marked distress, disability, and that.
भाई कहना क्या चाहते हो?
आपके बेटे को एक साइकोलॉजिकल प्रॉब्लम है, लेकिन फिक्र करने की कोई जरूरत नहीं है। सही इलाज से सब ठीक हो सकता है।
क्या तुम कहना क्या चाहती हो? तुम मेरे बेटे को पागल साबित करना चाहती हो? चलो बेटा यहाँ से, ये डॉक्टर ही पागल लगती है मुझे तो। देखो डॉक्टर, मन तो करे तुम्हारा मैं कपार फाड़ दूं, तुम्हारा झुट्टा नोच लूं मैं, लेकिन छोड़ दे रही हूँ। दोबारा सामने आना मत मेरे। अगर सामने आ गए तो खैरियत नहीं होगी तुम्हारी। चल बेटा, डॉक्टर पहले अपना इलाज कराओ, मुझे तुम ही पागल दिखती हो। चल बेटा।
Well, what we saw today was more on a lighter note. But are these things actually supposed to be taken on such lighter notes? All of us know somewhere we do neglect ours as well as our family and friends' mental health. Why though? We live in a contemporary world where no one has time to take care of one's own self. Self-care in today's time is an important activity to do every day. Doing so will lead towards a better balance among your dimensions of wellness and lead towards improved overall health. Life is precious and it is meant to be enjoyed. So, why do we neglect this? Youth nowadays are so much into drugs. Middle-aged people and old-aged people don't know they are a victim and they are suffering from depression, which therefore leads to trauma. I am Nandita Pisharodi, and today, with this, I bring to you our topic, negligence of self-health care. Our aims and objectives with this presentation is to deliver the importance of mental health and to spread awareness about drug abuse and its hazardous effects. Vaibhav shall take over from here.
Okay, so now let's understand what exactly is mental illness.
लोग ये समझते हैं कि मेंटल इलनेस मतलब पागलपन होता है, बट क्या सच में यही है? फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल, मेंटल इलनेस इज नॉट अ कैरेक्टर डिफेक्ट. It happens because of emotional and social reasons. Sometimes it happens because of childhood trauma or because of overwhelming stress, which we may experience at our workplaces or at our school. Sometimes it happens because of environmental injustice or because of violence or because of discrimination. Sometimes it happens because of genetical reasons. In this way, there can be a lot many reasons behind mental illness. And it at last, it's just a health problem, just like cancer, diabetes, etc. But then also, we never consider it in that way. We never try to solve this problem and help the sufferer who is suffering from this reason. You know what's the reason behind it? It's stigma. लोगों की सोच ही ऐसी बन गई है कि मेंटल इलनेस मतलब पागलपन होता है. अब हमें उस सोच को ब्रेक करना होगा, हमें लोगों की सोच बदलनी पड़ेगी. To break this thinking, what we can do, first of all, we have to educate ourselves as well as others of what exactly is mental illness. We should know the complete facts about mental illness, and then we can break this stereotypical thinking. We have to also support the people who are suffering from mental illness. At last, we should take good care of our mental health and overall health. These mental illness problems are going to be rising in the coming time. So now let's look upon the statistics of mental illness. 1 out of every 5 Indians suffer from depression at some point in their life. And now I want to ask all you that can mental illness be the new pandemic after Corona? No one actually knows it, but we have the power to stop this. Bhavya will take over from now.
I would like to start with a quote. Health is a state of harmony of body, mind and spirit. Now, अभी हम लोग ने mental illness के बारे में तो जान ही लिया, तो आइए जानते हैं substance use disorder क्या होता है. Substance use disorder is known as a drug abuse, basically by consuming or using an amount of drugs which may be harmful to individuals. Now, when we talk about drugs include cocaine, opioids, cannabis, alcohol, etc. Now, how are these two things interrelated? According to our research, more than half of the people suffering from mental illness are also victims of substance use disorder. Yes, it is a fact. Some studies have also shown that people who had consumed high rate of alcohol and drugs or also suffer from bipolar disorder and depression. Whereas some other studies have shown that people who are suffering from schizophrenia are also high consumers of alcohol, drugs, and tobacco. So this shows the links between the two. And there are many people suffering from a large number of commodities. And hence, mental abuse also have one of the main causes, that is substance use disorder. Now, Ispreha will take over.
When was the first time you heard the word drugs? Or when was the last time your friend said, yaar, ek baar karne se na kuch nahi hota? It is difficult to protect people from substance abuse when they are suffering from mental health issues, but what about others? Drugs and peer pressures are almost like synonyms. The youth today has forgotten what it means to take care of their health and boost the longevity of their own lives. Why do the youth think that their life is not worth living? Teenagers give in very easily because somehow they feel that that will raise their social standing amongst their peers. Certain kinds of peer pressure not only lead to hazardous short-term behavior, but they can plant the seeds for long-lasting detrimental habits as well. The ill effects of drug abuse can be short-term as well as long-term. Short-term abuse can lead to changes in appetite, insomnia, slurred speech, loss of coordination, whereas long-term abuse can lead to cardiovascular diseases, respiratory diseases, kidney damage, liver damage, overdose, and a lot more. Over to you, Akanksha.
Now that we've seen all the problems that are caused to our mental health, we should turn ourselves to look for some solutions too. Therapy. Therapy का मतलब क्या होता है? It's not just sitting on the couch waiting to be diagnosed with an illness. It's an essential medium of communication that helps us deal with a range of issues, from daily stress to relationship issues to trauma. Not just that, it helps us manage our mental health conditions and also to avoid mental illness. Rehabilitation centers. It's a home-like building where not just the addict, but troubled people seek life-changing experiences that bring balance and joy to oneself. Rehab includes individualized treatment plans to help patients identify and overcome the underlying issues that started the addiction and help them lead a productive, healthy and happy life. Peer support, meditation and yoga जैसी कई चीजें हैं जो रिहाब में काफी ज्यादा इस्तेमाल की जाती है और हर एक इंसान को नेचुरल तरीके से नए से ढाला जाता है. ना केवल हमारी मेंटल हेल्थ के बारे में, पर हमें कोशिश करनी चाहिए कि ऐसे समय में हम रोज एक्सरसाइज करें, अच्छा खाना खाएं और हमारी फिजिकल हेल्थ भी बनाए रखें. ओवर टू यू केशव.
1 minute left.
हेल्थ इज वेल्थ, स्वास्थ्य ही संपत्ति है. यह कहावत ऐसे ही नहीं कहा जाता. हाँ, हमारे जीवन में बहुत सारे समय ऐसे आते हैं जो समय हमारी मानसिक स्थिति को बुरी तरह झकझोर देते हैं. मैं कोई ज्ञान नहीं दूंगा, नहीं कहूंगा कि आपको ये ऐसा करना चाहिए, आपको वैसा करना चाहिए, लेकिन किंतु यह अवश्य कहूंगा कि जब कभी भी आप मानसिक तनाव से जूझ रहे हो तब आप चिंता नहीं अपितु चिंतन करें, क्योंकि सर सलामत तो पगड़ी हजार. आपके स्वास्थ्य के बारे में आपसे अच्छा और कोई नहीं जानता, डॉक्टर भी नहीं. तो इसका ख्याल कैसे रखना है ये भी आपकी ही जिम्मेदारी है. तो आइए हमारे साथ शपथ लीजिए. हम शपथ लेते हैं कि हम टीम ऊर्जा अपनी स्वास्थ्य को अपनी जिम्मेदारी मानते हैं और इस जिम्मेदारी का पूर्णतः निर्वाह करेंगे. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद आप लोगों का. उम्मीद करता हूं आप लोग अपनों का ख्याल रखेंगे. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
Okay, so two very complex topics in one presentation. So somewhere you couldn't do justice. आप mental health का भी बात कर रहे थे. You tried to put it together with substance abuse. Two topics are so huge और इतना deep आपको अंदर जाना पड़ता है to understand both of them. So it was just like, you're briefly touching and going away, touching and going away. So कहीं पे भी I didn't find it that, you wanted to give too much in a very short time. So बहुत सारे दिन, I mean, just because you wanted to give out so much, so there was actually, you missed out a lot, in trying to give too much in your presentation. Either you could have taken up mental health or you could have taken up substance abuse. दोनों आपको see, even if you had taken up substance abuse, आप briefly mental health पे तब touch कर सकते थे. Okay, and fleetingly you could have mentioned about mental health and gone into the depth of either substance abuse, or you could have gone into the depth of mental health and just mentioned that substance abuse भी हो सकता है. यहाँ आप दोनों topics को एक ही साथ, you couldn't balance it. The balance part was missing. You had your statistics and you tried to give out a lot of self-care things and all that stuff also, which is to a very great extent very, very essential in daily life. But when you're talking of drug abuse, substance abuse, it's another level. What kind of people will go into substance abuse? जो emotional trauma होता है, या there's a typical personality type who will go into substance abuse to that level. So वो connection थोड़ा कहीं पे आपका छूट गया. And Bhavya, there was a lot of problem when you were trying to talk. You were trying to read from somewhere. Were you reading?
Actually,
it appeared so.
This time I'm using laptop and the people are on the side. So that's why.
So आप कहीं पे निगाहें, कहीं पे इशारा kind of a thing was happening. So please be mindful of that. It was very evident, it was very, very evident. So that is something that you'll have to keep in mind. When you started out with the, video and the way you brought around the stigma, that was very nice. So had you just stuck to mental health and gone into the depth of it, it would have really given this presentation a very different meaning. And it would have been really, really, you would have aced it. लेकिन ये दोनों को करने में ना इधर ना घर का ना घाट का जैसा हाल हो गया. So somewhere you guys missed it a bit. So next time I want to see something better. Okay?
बिल्कुल मैम, बिल्कुल. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद.
Tina, would you like to go next because you have to leave? Tina?
I actually forgot Tina had to leave. She should have taken it first.
Tina, would you like to go or can I? May I? Okay, so something that really laughed is the use of that video concept and theatrics, which is not like a role play, but a total video and a story in itself. That was amazing. I love the fact that you put in your self pictures, some places where like those expressions and everything. So that was out of the box, something which was different that I really liked it. Another awesome thing that I noticed today is that every one of you matched your energy levels, bank, or like all of them were there. So that was another amazing piece. So something like even your that kahavat, the sher or shairis or what the quotes that you said, Keshav, was to the bit, it was like very good. So I kind of felt there was a good harmony sync today when I see the presentation per se, and the presentation was a very good format too. Uh, After the pandemic or during, I mean, the pandemic is still not over. The statistics says that 1 out of every 3 adults is undergoing anxiety disorders. So the stats that it's 1 out of 5 has come to 1 and 3 because of the pandemic that's going on. So I felt a great job. I love the new nuances and the new elements that you guys have brought in. Great job.
थैंक यू सो मच मैम, बहुत मायने रखता है हमारे लिए, धन्यवाद।
बहुत ही अच्छा प्रेजेंटेशन रहा आप लोगों का. इट वाज एक्सीलेंट प्रेजेंटेशन. आई कंप्लीटली अग्री टू द पॉइंट्स व्हाट सीजी मैम हैज सेड. द वे यू पीपल द रोल प्ले, द video, not direct role play for a presentation, but the video which you prepared and the way you presented it, then using your own images, the visual effect was very good. The confidence with which you all spoke was amazing. Very nice. There was a proper, like as CG ma'am pointed out very well, the energy level was perfectly balanced by everyone. And but also yes, I agree to what Bhavi ma'am said that yes, you took up 2 big topics. अभी आप अगर सिर्फ mental health पे भी focus करते तो वो अपने आप में एक बहुत बड़ा topic है. Especially, anyways, mental health is a big concern. And right now, this lockdown, people been locked up in home and their family members in distress, or it now like everywhere there is so much of fear, uncertainty. Mental health is the major concern right now. So even if the people who are not suffering from anything, still they are stressed out right now because of the uncertainty which is visible, ahead. So mental health itself अगर आप अभी ले लेते और उसी पे focus करते तो ये बहुत ही बढ़िया package रहता आपका. But hats off to the efforts what you people have put. So we understand this is something which you people are doing new, and your research, and we understand, but the way you people have presented it, excellent job, well done. Your efforts are very well seen in the presentation, so for that you really deserve applause. But yes, sticking to one topic and going in depth of it is more important. That's what
बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद।
completely well done.
Okay, so I'm just going to add on to what all of the other judges have said, because I think each one has raised points, and I kept like from my list kept reducing. So I'm only left with a few points that I'm going to make. So I'll be quick. So first of all, I want to say that yeah, I'm going to be a bit mean here. So I only have negative things to say, because all the good things that have been said by the other judges, I totally agree with, and hats off to you guys. Please remember that even when criticism comes along, we are just doing our job. And this is in brackets saying, like, we don't treat you all like children, whichever, whether you're a Gen Z, P, E, A, B, C, D, doesn't matter. We don't treat you like children. We treat you like the professionals that you're, training to be. And as you are being judged is like what is we're preparing you for, that the level of criticism will be actually even higher than this. And it's in brackets understood that on top of it, that we love what you're doing, we understand the constraints, restrictions, everything that you all are working under. And then on top of that, we still have these expectations of you, which in a way is actually a compliment. So saying me buttering up now thoda tochen. So basically, Vaibhav, be very, and I say this to everybody, that when you pick a topic, first thing you will do is find synonyms for that topic, not ridiculously like archaic ones which are not in use anymore, but 2-3 alternatives. Because if I had to count the number of times you said mental illness, okay, just in your segment, it started sounding like mentalness. And I don't blame you for that, because you're focusing on what you have to say, your delivery, your style, you're remembering all your points. It's very easy to make that mistake. So be mindful of it, guys. Because if I go back and somebody asks me, what did you just watch? I watched mentalness. So okay, just keep that in mind, is including the articulation. But as a
sort of option, look for alternatives so you all can use different words in the same segment at least. That's one point. Bhavya, what can I say? Like, the amount of improvement, I agree with what doctor said. You know, the point, the screen thing, it was driving me a little crazy, so I decided to stop looking at you. I was only listening to you. But this is something I also teach in my workshops and stuff, especially for social media people, कि भाई खुद के photo खुद का थोड़ा मत देख, look at the camera, because the person who's watching you wants to feel like you're talking to them, and it's very obvious. I know when you are talking to your reflection to check के हाँ, so basically people don't do that. So even here, where you're is so important. It's so important. Okay, so remember, be mindful of this fact when you're talking to a camera or a device. There are people on the other end. Keep them in mind. It's very important that whenever it's on a public stage where there are 40,000 people in front of you and you can't, like, you'll get overwhelmed. Okay, even if there are 40 people in front of you, what I teach is you find one person who has, first of all, an expressive face, is not sitting there like one Dumbo, and secondly, who you feel that yes, this person wants me to succeed, this person understands what I'm saying, and they want to learn more. Now, in the case of a camera, you can't do that, but you have screens in front of you, right? You can see screens, I'm saying. You have these little visuals. And even if it's not there, practice imagining your audience and trying to anticipate that, अच्छा, मैं अभी ये बोलने वाली हूँ, तो मेरा भी expressions regulate होना चाहिए, मेरा भी volume regulate होना चाहिए, based on the content. Delivery is very important. This is called presentation. So how you present is going to matter. Okay. That said, Keshav, you are a fabulous performer. You're very good with your diction. You have a flair. But I'm afraid I have realized now, this is the third set of presentations, that you cannot regulate. You cannot. Your setting is at Ishtar power. You have one setting. So unfortunately, that was earlier making your teammates look like they were not working as hard. They've leveled up. They've all come, including Bhavya. I mean, I cannot describe how thrilled I was to see that Bhavya's style of emoting, his diction, his articulation, his confidence, boop, 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 fabulous. Still a lot of work, Bhavya. Don't let it go to your head. But I want to say that the improvement was drastic. Keshav was awesome, is awesome, will continue being awesome. But I want you to be mindful of the regulating bit. Like whether you were the presenter on TV or whether you were the like some kind of a either practitioner or whatever, वो style एक ही है आपका. So be mindful of that, because आगे जाके life में you can't deliver the same news in the same every kind of news in the same way, right? It's like me doing stand-up comedy, and then later if I'm delivering an eulogy at somebody's funeral, I can't do it with the same. My God, I can't talk like this, right? Really, come on. So be mindful of that. And I love that you guys used your own pictures in your presentations, whether it was to depict stress, anxiety, whatever. You didn't use stock images. You actually did it yourselves. That part for me was like, and that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you
so much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, ma'am. बिल्कुल ध्यान रखूंगा मैं.
Okay, I am only left. Or is there someone? CG, you done? Oh wow. Okay, great. So guys, pretty good while I say this, because first two presentations.
Why do you?
Okay, so first two presentations and now do these two presentations are absolutely comparatively kind of, this was here and this is here now. Okay, you balanced, not even balanced, you uplifted your performance out there. That's how we have thought while curating this entire competition. That's how the students has to level up their performances. And now that you have balanced your performance, it is not only balanced, but you have uplifted your performances. Number one. Number two, don't be jack of all trades and master of none. Okay, that's what Bhavi ma'am wants to tell you. So one topic, go into depth and kind of बोलते हैं ना उसको हर उसका अनियन का जो पील होता है ना, जैसे एक 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 निकालते हैं, वैसे पील ऑफ करके हमें स्टैटिस्टिक सामने लाके दे दो. दैट इज व्हाट मोर इम्पोर्टेंट इज. सो यू डोंट हैव टू pick all the onions from the market. You just pick one onion and just peel all the slices of it. That is how we want to. So अगर आप mental illness की बात करते हैं, किसी ने तो एक सवाल किया था कि is this new pandemic mental illness? I guess this was the question, right? अगर आप थोड़ा सा और statistically अगर दिखा सकते थे कि प्री पैंडेमिक के टाइम पे ये स्टैटिस्टिक्स है मेंटल इलनेस के रिपोर्टिंग्स में, एंड पैंडेमिक के बाद वाला ये स्टैटिस्टिक्स है मेंटल इलनेस में, it could have been another 2-4 slides out there only, and then drill out with the reasons out there ki what are the reasons for mental illness and stuff like that. So it could have been an elaborative session in itself. So mental illness is a vast and a complex construct. It is not that chota कि एक पन्ना ओपन कर ली और बुक बंद कर ली. No, it is a vast topic. Overall, yes, what Simona said, Bhavya, absolutely fantastic. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know which all level you upgraded to, but I have been always telling my students out this: fly high, stay grounded. Because सक्सेस हर एक लोगों की बात नहीं होती है एंड बस की बात नहीं होती है, बट सक्सेस को जितना आप नीचे दबा के रखो ना, उतना आप और शाइन होने शुरू होते हो. अंडरस्टैंड? टेक फीडबैक, implement feedback. That is what major thing is. Okay, but absolute fantastic work that you've done, improving yourself and keep improving in your life. Okay, that's what I wanted to see. And last time ही मैंने यही चीज फीडबैक आपको दी थी. इनफैक्ट भव्या को नहीं, सबको दिया था. करेक्ट? अगर आप लोग मोबाइल फोन में हो तो आप टिल्टेड ये साइड मत देखना, अगर आप लैपटॉप के स्क्रीन में तो आप सामने जो लेंस है उसमें मत देखना. करेक्ट? ये मैंने लास्ट टाइम आपको फीडबैक दी थी. बट ये इम्प्लीमेंट बहुत लोग करते हैं, बहुत लोग नहीं करते हैं. ये सबसे बड़ी गलती करते हैं लोग. डोंट डू दैट. जस्ट फोकस ऑन योर प्रेजेंटेशन. Okay, because people are looking at you. And Bhavya, hats off to you. Whatever it is, I want to see more and more of yours. Sure? So keep shining, Team C. Amazing with the photographs and the video. The video was edited fab. Kind of fabulous. So I think each video ka part was edited at their home. Shot at their home. I guess so. Correct? आपके घर में शॉट करके उसको एडिट करके एक साथ कंपाइल किया गया. दिस इज एब्सोल्युटली फैंटास्टिक, बिकॉज़ ये तो नया लॉकडाउन की बारी आ गई थी ना, ये वीडियोस बहुत चल रहे थे. घर में वो किसी का चाबी ट्रांसफर करना, किसी को दवाई देना, किसी को एक से एक पास ऑन करना, एंगल्स वगैरह रख के, ये आई गेस एंगल्स तुम लोग ने लेकर आके इसको वीडियो बनाया. अमेजिंग केशव, अमेजिंग एक्टिंग ऑन देयर. Fantastic team C, good work done. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir.
One quick thing I forgot to mention, which in relation to when I was speaking to Bhavya's drastic and fabulous improvement, is the fact that till now, and this has been from day one, the one person I've been the most, like when I say maximum, matlab fangirl to ho gayi hu main. Ispreha's delivery, the style, each it was always relevant to the topic. It was always relevant to the current whatever, whether they were doing the dramabazi or whether they were doing the newscasting or whether they were doing some the languages, the regional languages, whatever it was always in sync perfectly with the context. And again, Ispreha, don't let this get your head, but the being able to relate the talent, and this is what I'm trying to convey to you, Keshav, and this is very important in life as well, the ability to regulate, right? I mean, we have survived as a species because of our ability to adapt. So similarly, I feel that getting stuck can happen in many ways, whether it's in our thoughts or in our actions or in our attitudes. So I really appreciate, and I wanted to give you a shout out, Ispreha, because I really feel this is not only an innate thing. People believe that some people are just born good at something. No, I believe that they know that they have that. Yes, I can't hear you. I can read your lips, but basically what I want to respect and acknowledge is that I can see that you've also put in the work, and you put in the work every single time. So Bhavya, if I would ask you to kind of be mentored by somebody in your own, like we also look at our peers, no? For examples, you and Ispreha would be a very good match. That said, Vaibhav, I also believe that your confidence levels are very, very high, but that your articulation somehow needs to, get in sync with that. Like I feel you're so conscious of being on camera that you forget to be you. If I had to just remove the camera and ask you to be Vaibhav, I feel like you would be an ace. But that, and this is something we all struggle with, okay? Of course, not some of us, but I'm just saying everybody is very conscious of the fact that I am being seen, I am being observed, and in this context, I am being judged. And that is not an easy thing to deal with. So what I say is get out of your head. I mean, stay in your head long enough to remember your content and your delivery and your stuff, but get out of your head in the sense that where you're anticipating the judgment and not that judging which we are paid to do, or rather, sorry, you're not getting paid, right? That we are requested to do. The aspect of judgment which is coming from like, oh, do they think I'm stupid? Do they think I'm sounding funny? Are they that judgment? Usko ekdam hatane ka. Don't even think of that. You should come to any situation, whether it's a stage, whether it's a podium, whether it's a conversation with somebody who's either your senior or a difficult conversation in any sphere in life, thinking positive. Okay, ye acha jaane wala hai. Then this, this stiffness, this feeling of being extremely conscious, trust me, 50% discount udhar hi milega aapko. So please keep this in mind. I believe that having this block out will help not just Vaibhav, but all of you. Having this running commentary in the back of your mind is very, very enabling for adults, for children, for everybody. So if that's one thing you can work on, I feel like it will help you very, very much. Thank you for letting me share.